Hello, YouTube! I'm Megumi Mary, the transgender gamer girl with a heart of gold, love for all things nerdy, and today we are talking about why the episode Free Churro is perfect. I would first like to establish that we are talking about Bojack Horseman, Season 5, Episode 6. If you have not watched Season 5, walk away now, because I will be going in depth into this episode. Bojack Horseman has done a great job of having those episodes that stand out above the rest each season. In Season 4, I thought no episode of the show would top Time's Arrow. I would describe it as the most disturbing half hour of TV I've ever seen that shook me to my core, but damn was it the best half hour of TV. So when I started Season 5, I didn't actually think I would find an episode as perfect as Time's Arrow. But halfway into the season, I was proven wrong. In a very big way. The episode as a whole, after the opening credit roll, is one long monologue. Bojack giving a eulogy at his mother's funeral. He starts by mentioning how he got a free churro from Jack in the Box because he mentioned his mother died. Upon starting, he realizes how very little he actually has to say about his own mother. Bringing up the day she lived, the day she died, and just like, so what did she do? It does a great job of capitalizing on how his upbringing affected the way he went about his life, and he talks about how he always wanted to be seen, because her last words were, "I see you." And he just tries to figure out if there was like, those words were meant as "I see you," as like an acknowledgement of him, or "I see you" as in like, I've seen what you become and it's not good, or just not even talking to him. And he then brings up an anecdote from his time working on Horsing Around. And in this anecdote, a fan asks if the reason why a coffee cup shows up in some shots of this one scene and not other shots of the same scene is because it's a metaphor for how the fluctuant subjectivity of memory is how two different people can experience the same moment in entirely different ways. And Bojack goes on to mention that he didn't have the heart to say, no, some crew guy just left their coffee cup in the shop, and confirmed that's what it was. And Bojack goes on to explain that maybe this is like that coffee cup. We try to pin significance on every little thing. Maybe when someone says, "I see you," it just means, "I see you." And it's this note in particular that I think is the biggest takeaway for me from this entire episode. Because it hits on something that is very prominent in today's culture, and that's our ability to look at stuff and dissect stuff. If you look at YouTube, you can see like a million videos talking about this episode. There are thousands of reviews out there about this episode. And it's not just this. There's Steven Universe stuff. My Steven Universe stuff is just how I perceive different parts of the show. And yet those are still some of my most popular videos. And there's still other people out there who take different stuff away from those same characters, those same scenarios. And what this essentially comes back to is that this, at its core, is what art is about. This is what the episode ultimately talks about. It's about how we can perceive things one way. And it's not just limited to TV shows or movies. You know, we look at a picture. One person thinks the picture has this kind of significance to it. Another person can see something else. Even when it comes down to people, you know, you might look at someone and say, "Oh yeah, I know all about that person." But when you actually like get to know the person, you see a whole different layer to them, and it's a completely different layer than what the person would be like on their own. In this case, it's a great way of dissecting how everything just comes down to a matter of perception. And it's interesting to take a look at these different perspectives, because in the end, that's all we really have in life is experiences and perspectives of those experiences. Bojack didn't know a lot of the messed up parts of his mother's past. He just saw the end result of a distant mother who never really acknowledged him. And it's that right there, I think, that speaks to this metaphor. Because when we look at something in art, it's us acknowledging that there's a deeper meaning there. There's a significant purpose to this art. And it's like we want to acknowledge that deeper purpose because we feel on some level that there's a deeper meaning to everything. That everything is part of like something else and everything has a deep meaning. But at the end of the day, a painting is just a painting. A movie is just a movie. A TV show is just a TV show. A free churro is just a free churro. But it's how we interpret this that is one of the better things about humanity, about how we can take something and just find meaning in it, even if that meaning wasn't supposed to be there to begin with. But that's just my take on this. And again, it's art, so you might have a completely different take than me. That being said, let me know what you think about this. Let me know your thoughts. If you have a video on this topic, why don't you go ahead and drop that link down there so other people can see it. I'm very interested because, again, art is subjective, and this may be my takeaway from the episode, but someone else might have a completely different takeaway. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I have been Megumi Mary. Don't stop being awesome.